Tonight is our 100-year anniversary party. We're celebrating our 100th year in business.
Free as a bird in the sky, that is what you are.
This has been the reason that I am making twice the money that I was a year ago, and I know it's going to be just a very short period of time and I'll be $1 million business too.
Started in 1988. We got our roots in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it was just an idea and a concept to say, hey, we want to get out of the commodity business and get more into the consulting side of the house.
Who was the logo for all the electric utilities in America at one time. There's a big image of this woman with an electric headdress that Angela Antonsen did. So we've got artwork all around the hotel.
It was super dope to kind of close down a section of the store and be doing yoga in the middle of Walmart. So it is trap yoga. We got a little music in the back, so feel free, if you're feeling the beat.
Disruptive technologies and disruptive industries are changing the way that work gets done and the way that value changes hands at a pace that has never been experienced before.
With 3 levels of membership, Private Access Society is designed for individuals and organizations who are looking for an exceptional selection of services for themselves.
Blockbuster and Pan Am and Kodak filing for bankruptcy.
I have shot video for clients of all sizes, creating sets out of whatever materials and props were available at that location.
Associated Bank in Texas partners with like-minded individuals and companies not satisfied with the status quo.
Dry eye, it can be multiple reasons, can be because of work. Looking at the computer, you may blink less. As a matter of fact, studies saying that when you're looking at a computer screen, you only blink about 20-30% of the time.
I talk to my clients that come to me, and a lot of times they've heard the term collaborative divorce. They've seen the lawyers that talk about collaborative divorce versus litigation.
If you ask business leaders, 15% of them say that their culture, their company culture, is actually where it needs to be. You think there's a comparison between the two? There absolutely is, because where culture goes, that's where employee engagement goes.
We're in the midst of the greatest macro shift in our workforce in over 100 years. The gig economy is exploding right before our eyes. And yet, there are too many workers that are still underpaid and lacking benefits and the social safety net they need required to do more than just survive.
Giving Tuesday is a way to refocus and just get back to the difference that we can make through the various charities.
Today we're here with Dr. Al Johnson to talk about IBS. Dr. Johnson, first of all, tell us, what is that?
I'm always excited for this time of the bridal show. Tell us a little bit about what's about to happen.
Well, we have this twice a year, and it's a lot of fun. All the girls come in, and they're grooms, the ones that'll show up. Mothers, they all come in, sit down at the stage, and we come out and we throw some humor at them, we throw some information at them, and then we throw thousands of dollars worth of prizes at them.
Radio DJs was born from an idea that we had on the Kick Raddick Morning Show, and since then we now represent 463 DJs.
The child should be able to trust me, and the parent should be able to trust me. So I want you to know that you're gonna get quality care in a person that you can trust, and I don't know where else you can find that.
We take the quesadilla, but we elevate it, right? So it's primo quesadillas, you know? So like we have smoked brisket that we do like overnight in-house, like we home make all of our own sauces, everything's like very fresh.
This is a habit you wanna support. So we kind of set this craft pepper sauce business on fire 30 years ago, and we're still leading the way. You know, we look at, you know, the hot sauce, the original formula, as, you know, one of the best hot sauces in the world.
It's an extension from home. It's a community. The mixed age group provides the opportunity for children to be also models.
My loved one ended up in several different treatment facilities, and some very egregious things happened as a result, and I was appalled at what I saw happening out there. So I took my background in entrepreneurial skills and also in the healthcare industry and decided to be a force for change.
If you have popcorn ceilings, is it worth getting rid of that?
Yeah, you know, I think it is. It really just depends on how much, right? How much is it going to cost you? Do you have that budget? Does it make sense to get something else that's more valuable?
How local can you get when you're based right here in Irving? The guys from Melendez, I got Greg and Pinson in the studio. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
Employees don't feel like they can take lunch break, right? Yes, the company says you can, but when they do, they feel like they're slacking. They feel like they're not being productive.
You've got to set boundaries. If you answer a phone call or an email every single time, even on a Sunday afternoon, you're going to train people how to treat you.
We're asking you, what is the top quality you look for in a colleague?
We started with just dress shirts, and we've now evolved to every single category that men would need to dress, from t-shirts to tuxedos.
Welcome you, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Valerie.
I see this.
Yes.
I asked you to bring this because I thought, oh my gosh, there are so many things that you do. This is crazy. So what is it? And tell us.
This is a Native American flute.
We can play a game I call Explain Your Gram.
Whoa.
Which is
All
producers did a deep dive in the 15 minutes that they knew you were coming on the show. Did a deep dive into your Instagram and found some photos that we want you to explain.
We actually almost worked together in a way.
Several opportunities.
So, you know, everyone that this show, obviously you can hear this audio-wise.
I kind of want you to think about when you're planning your trip to Ireland, maybe where is it that you'd like to go and maybe spend some time in that place?
Even in the dead of winter,
Howdy.
someone always greets you with warmth.
We always say one word. We always say howdy.
Howdy Homemade Vice President Coleman Jones says that's been the foundation of the shop since they started scooping 3 years ago.
It has been really nice being a part of it and how it's been influencing myself and the rest of our employees here. It's been really nice working for a guy like Tom because this is a guy who you can say, hey, he's a great guy.
We started working with people with special needs at some of my other restaurants and decided that we really, the restaurant industry is lots focused, that it isn't about food first, it's about people first.
Owner Tom Landis says he's accomplishing that goal by hiring 14 of his 16 employees with special needs.
I used to lay like this at night. My situation came when my mother passed. I had heartache. I'm not gonna go into too many things, but I just want to say this here. It hurts. I died on the inside.
For 2 months, Philip Turner was living in a nightmare, sleeping outside of the Walmart where he worked, until he reached out for help.
And I want you to know that the Walmart family will stand behind you and everything. They began to help me with more hours, and they began to help me with clothes, shoes, socks, food, and everything, and that helped me.
Pushing forward, even when the nights were rough.
I slept right here. Nobody didn't ever know.
Until one day, he saved up just enough. Just come on in.
Ready, set, go. A new decade brings a new age of racing to the Metroplex, and a local group of racing enthusiasts stopped by Andretti Indoor Karting and Games for a test drive.
This is my favorite so far. I love the elevations and turns.
For every new high school they build, we need 30 brand new officials just to break even. We have a aging membership that is retiring at a rapid rate.
Fitch says that including multi-sport referees as more than one, they have about 16,000 referees in their organization. But to keep up with school sport growth, they need about 1,600 more. Her and her husband didn't start out on this side of the business.
We started our own business to contract with the Texas State Comptroller's office. So we were independent contractors auditing companies on their behalf. When we would go out and audit companies like La Madeleine and, Blockbuster Videos.
Some women say the longer, thicker, and fuller the eyelashes, the better.
2 years ago, I probably saw somebody once a week who had eyelash extensions. Today, I can easily see 5 patients a day with eyelash extensions.
It's more like a matchmaker in that we find sponsors of projects that deserve to be drilled, and we match them up with investors, both accredited and unaccredited. It's the unaccredited part that's different.
The difference is the Jobs Act went into effect a few years ago, meaning that potential investors now don't have to meet a minimum income or net worth requirement to invest. A few years later, and the idea of Silk Threads was born.
Mainstream America loves embroidery. They love color. They want to see beautiful prints. And I brought it into the mainstream market in 2005.
From molds to foods, pollens, chemicals, and toxins we live with every day, Dr. Johnson has dedicated his life to finding out what's at the root of each person's illness.
40% of the population is predisposed to allergies of some sort. I can see how important it is to understand in the medical field the cause and effect relationships and to look a little farther than just giving the latest pill to somebody.
Seth Denson and John Powder merged their two companies 5 years ago to create GDP Advisors.
Obviously, insurance is the core of our value. The reason we call ourselves advisors is
Katrina Rodionova, the president of Advanced Regeneration, opened a clinic in the fall that uses a new FDA-cleared Phoenix Theralaser. It's a laser that is supposed to help speed up injury and soreness recovery.
As the tissue is regenerated, the signal is being sent to the brain that the tissue is regenerating, so the pain subsiding.
She even used neurofeedback for herself when she lost her sense of smell after a head injury.
And when you think about Thanksgiving, you don't remember anything. You don't remember who was there, what they wore, but you remember what you ate. And you remember what that smelled like when you walked into that house. The strongest memories we have are emotional memories. And that's really what prompted me to make a career change.
Nifty, the network for teaching entrepreneurship, provides students with the opportunity to pitch their business ideas for a chance at seed money,
design company for theater,
and a spot in the National Youth Entrepreneurial Challenge.
I've had students earlier on where school wasn't something that they were really involved with. They just thought it was routine and monotonous. And when they get into the entrepreneurship class and they get a hands-on and skills that they know that they need to use, they kind of blossom.
So I'm trying to pair my cookie shop experience with my background in nutrition and come up with something that people can enjoy while not feeling guilty about what they're eating as well.
That's the idea behind the whole Nourishing Nibble cookie line.
So we have the lactation cookie, which helps new moms produce breast milk when they're feeding their newborns. And then the second one is this protein cookie.
Program after high school, they could straight away get a job.
thus bypassing the student loan problem and bringing in new talent 4 years ahead of the game.
Valentine's is usually a packed house at good restaurants in the area.
We'll do over 1,000 people on Valentine's night between the two restaurants.
Chef and restaurant owner Richard Chamberlain has owned Chamberlain's Fish Market Grill in Addison for 17 years and Chamberlain's Steak and Chop House in Dallas just down the road for 25 years. He's been married for 29 years.